Hi, Jane here from Just a Parent Living with Estrangement. Welcome back to my channel. I'm glad that you're here. I'm sorry that you have to be here or are in this group of parents. I know it's hard, and that's really why I started this channel, to try to make it a little easier on everybody. So today I wanted to talk about 3 things that I personally did. I intend to be transparent, and I'm going to be. And these 3 things that I think nobody should do, I did. And the third one, I did it unknowingly, but I know it hurt my son, and I'm very sorry for that. Let's go into the 3 no-nos that one should never do, in my opinion. Again, this is my personal opinion, my personal experience with being estranged from my adult child. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm a mother, or at least I was a mother. I don't feel like a mother as much anymore. Maybe that's part of the estrangement. But anywho, the first thing that I did, because I think it was all out of desperation, is that I contacted his girlfriend, his significant other. I knew she really didn't want any part of me. She didn't want me around, which I always thought was maybe part of the problem. But I was desperate, and I thought, well, she's a mom now. I think at the time I had 2 granddaughters. So I thought, okay, I'm going to reach out to her mother to mother. And I reached out to her on Messenger on Facebook. And I said, would you please talk to Joe and tell him that, I would love to hear from him. A little message like that is what I sent her. And she sent me back a very reasonable, very understandable, and very logical response. She said, I really don't want to get in the middle. I think you should talk to him yourself. And I thought, okay, I'm not going to get any help from her. But she was polite. For the most part, I think she was absolutely 100% correct, And it really is kind of a dirty trick to try to put somebody else in the middle and do your bidding for you. But again, I was desperate. I just thought he listens to her so much that maybe if she said, why don't you call your mother, or say something to her, or tell her why you're angry or whatever. But again, that didn't happen. So I don't recommend you doing that ever. Don't ever reach out, in my opinion, again, to your adult child, significant other, husband or wife. It just doesn't pay. So that was number 1. Number 2, as if I didn't learn from number 1. Also on Facebook Messenger, I reached out to his girlfriend's parents. Yes, I did. And the reason behind that was I didn't know if he was okay or not. I truly didn't know. They were having such problems. I had seen something on Facebook that they were separated, and he was hurting because he wasn't seeing his kids every day. He was worried, and of course he's not going to answer me. So, I reached out to her parents, the mother, and she was always polite to me, but you could tell that she loved being the grandmother, the one that knows the kids so much better, especially since I did spend time in Florida. But I was okay with that, So I never heard back from her. What I did get about 30 minutes later was a nasty gram from my son. So she went running back and talked to my son and said, your mother wants to know what's going on with you. And I thought, wow, can't trust her either, can I? No. So my son sent me, I call it a nastygram, a nasty message on Messenger. Just stop contacting her family to find out about what's going on with me. And I just responded, okay. I knew he was mad. I knew he wasn't going to give me any information, but I thought, well, he's well enough that he's texting me back, so I know he's kind of okay. And I didn't push it because I knew if I pushed it, it wasn't going to go well. So that was number 2. And again, you're probably thinking, boy, this woman is not the brightest bulb in the box. I never claimed to be the brightest bulb in any box. I just felt desperate, I guess. And so I did those 2 things. I did them. I did. Now the third one, I didn't know I did. Now I consider myself, pretty savvy with my cell phone. I pay all my bills on my cell phone. When I worked, I'm retired now, but when I worked on a computer, so I know the basics. I know, how to do some things. But that's when I'm calm and I'm focused. And what happened was on Facebook, and I realized how powerful, right? How powerful Facebook is. As social media, there are people that really plan their lives, or they showcase their lives on Facebook. And it's a very powerful tool. So what I did was, I had seen something, because you have to understand, my son gave me access to him on Facebook. And he had for years. And I kept, every now and then I would check, because I knew we weren't talking, we weren't speaking. I thought, I wonder if he's gonna block me or unfriend me on Facebook. So every now and then, like I said, I would check, and he hadn't. We were still friends on Facebook. So I went on Facebook, and I immediately saw this text that he had posted saying how hurt he was and upset because he couldn't see his kids. That's really when I got the message, from what he was saying, that number one, he wasn't living in the house anymore. So I immediately got all nervous. My heart was pounding. And the picture that he had was kind of a picture of him sitting kind of sideways. So what I kept doing was trying to make the picture bigger in Facebook. And my hand was shaking because I'm like, oh my God, no, they broke. I mean, I don't like this woman. She doesn't like me, but I don't wish them to break up. I don't wish that at all. I want him to be happy. For whatever the part that I've seen, she is a good mother. So I'm not going to say that I wanted them to break up. I did not. And I certainly don't want him to be either homeless or, living in a motel or something because he can't live in the house anymore. So anyways, as I'm trying to make this picture bigger, I did see I saw some hearts. I saw some emojis going by. I totally ignored them because I was focused on this picture. So I ended up getting off of Facebook, and I immediately text him on my phone, regular text, that I saw something. I'm very sorry if you're not together anymore, and if there was anything I could do, I'll do anything I can to help you. You're my son, and I will always love you. I did not hear back, and I didn't know that I had done this for a couple of months. It was his father that told me this. And I did apologize. Apparently, in my infinite wisdom of being all nervous and trying to, I don't know why I was trying to even look at that picture, but I was trying to figure out where he was in the picture. It was a weird picture. I had sent a laughing emoji. Now, this guy is pouring his heart out, going through a horrible time, and he's posting it on Facebook, and his own mother sends a laughing emoji. And I mean, I was horrified, absolutely horrified. I didn't know I did that. And he said, well, I saw it myself. His father told me. And I'm like, oh my God. I said, my hand was shaking. I was trying, stupid story. I'm trying to make the picture bigger. Well, I immediately apologized to him, but, he's already mad at me. I mean, what's he going to think? And I said, I am so sorry. I said, my hands were shaking, which my hands do when I get nervous now. My hands do start shaking. And it's funny, not funny, but my mom was the same way when she got older. I'm 67. Some days I feel 67, some days I don't. But I do notice that now when I get nervous, and I was nervous that night. So I did apologize profusely up and down. Why would I ever do that? I would never do that. But, so anyways, that was number 3. And, be careful. I have to say, like I said, he had been very, I guess, generous in his way of thinking, that he left Facebook open for me, even though we weren't having any kind of contact. But the day after I had done that, like I said, I didn't know I did that, but the day after, he blocked me on Facebook, and he has since unfriended me. And be honest, I don't think I'll ever get that privilege back. I feel like it's not going to happen no matter what. I have sent him a friend request and haven't gotten anywhere with that. So that, like I said, I want to be transparent. I'm only human. I fumble. I do things that, if anything was bad about that is that I hurt myself, and I think I hurt him. What does he think when he sees that I'm laughing at him going through pain? What kind of a parent would do that? I would never do that. Nevertheless, I did it. Very careful on Facebook would be my number 3 message to you. Do not, be willy-nilly, or always think, because Facebook is so powerful, and I can only imagine how many other people saw that, that he knows. But anyways, so that's my story for today, and tell me what you think in the comments. Please give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe. It will help this channel continue. If you have any kind of fumbling kind of story that you did out of desperation to try to reach your child or have contact with your child, leave me a story. I'm really so touched, like I said before, with all the comments I'm getting, and I appreciate it. And there's so much support that you've given me too, and I so appreciate it. Doesn't it feel good to know that we are not alone? We're building a community here, and I think that's great. And we're stronger together. So thank you for watching this video. And like I said, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next one. And please do something nice for yourself today. All right. Bye-bye.